In today's video, we are going to go over the top 3 pet peeves that I have, also known as things you should not do with your ad creative. I'm Meredith, the creative director at Vidico, and we help e-commerce companies scale their paid traffic. So let's get into it. Okay, so number 1, mirrored creative. I did a whole video on this a couple months ago. We're gonna put a link to that below if you want the full rant, but the truth is that when you are scrolling through your Instagram and then you go to your Instagram stories and you see a square that doesn't fit the full frame and that tacky couple lines of text and it looks like S-H-I-T. I said it, it looks like shit. This is called being lazy. And what you can do to prevent this is to take 15 extra minutes and resize your feed creative for 1080 by 1920. I'm saying this, I'm being silly, but truly, honestly, it takes an extra 15 to reformat. You're paying for this. Make it look appropriate because there are so many brands that are resizing it that when you don't, it sticks out like a sore thumb. I get it. Sometimes mistakes happen. Sometimes a box gets checked that shouldn't, but you should be intentionally mirroring your creative, not only for auto placements, which is something that we will get into in a later video, but just for general aesthetics. Okay, that's number 1. Pet peeve number 2 is the length of your Instagram story ads. And I am not talking about that first 3 seconds for the hook, line, and sinker. I'm talking about the ones that you are swiping through and then you saw it and then you didn't, and it was like a friggin' Houdini act because whoever designed it just didn't make it long enough. So I have a rule of thumb within our creative department that everything should be no less than 9 seconds. I don't care if you loop it. I don't care if you hold on the final copy frame, but you shouldn't have it go less than 9 seconds, especially if you're including sale details, especially if you're giving somebody a code. So what does that mean? That means that you just need to check the length of your video that you're putting up and putting money behind. There is the luxury on feed for both Instagram and Facebook that there's an autoplay, it auto loops, whether it's a GIF or it's a video. You do not have that luxury on Instagram stories. So just make sure that it's between 9 and 15 seconds and you're good, because otherwise you put all this money towards this ad that was either beautiful or maybe not so beautiful, it doesn't matter. You want to make sure that people are going to pay attention. And when it is 2 seconds or 3 seconds long, it's just a simple error. You just need to loop it a couple more times and then export it. And the third pet peeve I have is pacing. And this isn't really as much of a pet peeve, more just a strategy that I've seen over the past 5-6 years that I've been designing for social advertising, and it's the pacing of your ads. It is crucial and it is so important and it is very delicate. So what do I mean? Nothing drives me more up the wall, or honestly just feel bad for the brand, when the pacing is too slow. And trust me, I get it. Some people are slow readers. Maybe your designer is a slow reader. Maybe your founder is a slower reader and they want it to feel, you know, melodic and like so everybody has a chance to get all the juicy details that you've included in that beautiful text overlay. I'm gonna tell you to do the opposite. I always, as a rule of thumb, operate on the principle of the pacing should be about a second too fast. So it should feel almost a smidge uncomfortable, like you're really having to kind of like focus and pay attention. And why do I do that? Because the slow readers are gonna stick around and they'll rewatch it or they'll pause it. The fast readers, though, are never going to stick around for a slow ad. So you have a much better chance of the largest amount of people getting eyes on your ads and paying attention if you cater to the fast readers. Fast readers and a slow ad are, they're gonna get bored within 3 seconds if they're not seeing a new frame, a new thought, a new idea. So really, really push yourself to pick up the pacing. Obviously, you don't want to do something that is like so racehorse and fast that your head is spinning by the end of it. but you want to make sure that you're definitely like keeping time on the beat. I used to be in music, so it's like a metronome going in my head all the time. Anyways, point is pick up the pace. So that's it. I was a little more aggressive than I really mean it, but except for number one. Number one I'm aggressive about always. But if any of these felt confusing or you're like, oh my God, we are making all of those mistakes and we really don't know how to fix them, get in touch. There's a link to contact us below. We'd love to take a look at your ads, your campaigns, how we can not only optimize their performance, but the way they look. I will be back next week with something e-commerce, advertising related, and until then, be well, and I will talk to you soon.